few thoughts occurred to me as I watched the credits roll on the final episode of Frieren. 1. That was freaking awesome, and 2. I will never experience anything that good in anime again until, well, Frieren Season 2. It's a show that has gripped me all throughout the 6 months it was airing. It's made me laugh and be in awe at its amazing animation and fight scenes, particularly in its final 2 episodes. It's made me reflect on the time I spent with these characters, watch them grow and evolve as they spend more time together on a journey that has already ended once before. Now, I'll admit, I'm not all that into the fantasy setting. Dwarves, mages and elves don't really capture my attention, much more like a more contemporary story like JJK or Bleach would. But yet, Frieren is a show that had its hooks in me like no other. Even when there was nothing happening in the overall wider plot and the crew were off doing side missions for an episode, it never felt like it got boring to me. To quickly summarise the story, the plot follows a mage called Frieren, a former member of the Hero Party, the group responsible for ending the Demon King and restoring peace to the world. This group includes Dwarf Eisen, Priest Heiter, as well as Hero Himmel. As the group watches a meteor shower, Frieren remarks that she'll take the rest of the group in another 50 years to see the next one at a better place. But while 50 years feels like 1 year to an elf like her, in reality it's a lot different for us humans. After the death of Himmel, Frieren begins to shed tears of regret, wishing she could spend more time with her comrades before they died. As Heiter marches towards death's door, Frieren accepts one final offer from him, to teach his young adopted daughter Fern the ways of magic, as well as caring for her, as well as an invitation to see Himmel again at the resting place of souls in the Northern Lands. Along the way, Frieren meets with Eisen and agrees to take in his warrior apprentice Stark, and thus begins a new journey, not just for Frieren, but for Stark and Fern too. The show perfectly balances slice of life funny moments with its action scenes, which are so good they could be part of a big budget shonen series, and one fight in particular made me jump out of my chair in pure hype. Without spoiling anything, I'll just say it involves a clone. Those of you who watched that scene know exactly what I'm talking about. One episode could have Frieren go around finding spells and helping out the locals with their troubles, while the next episode would contain an amazing fight scene or story beat. It's a show that knows how to keep its audience engaged. Even while not progressing its main plot, the side stories that Frieren and the crew happen to stumble upon could be stories of their own. As an example, in episode 16, the group visit a village that's protected by an old dwarf named Old Man Vol, who swore to protect the village in memory of his long-dead human wife. However, Frieren can tell that the old man is slowly starting to become senile. He forgets all his memories of his wife, which was the whole reason for his choice to protect the village in the first place. I'm not sure why this moment in particular stuck with me even after I finished the episode, but it did. Maybe it's because eventually we'll go through the same thing of slowly becoming senile and losing the memories of that which we hold dear. But this is just one of the many side stories that hold a far deeper underlying theme. The characters in Frieren all have unique and special personalities that help to make them stick in your mind. From Frieren and her party, to the demons they encounter and the mages they compete with in the first class exam arc, each character is written so perfectly. It's also a stroke of genius by the author that he gives each character a German name that matches their personality. For example, Stark means strong, as Stark is a warrior, while Frieren means freezing, alluding to how Frieren can appear as being cold and very emotionless. Ubel means evil, which, if you look at how she acts in the show, is pretty fitting if you ask me. No matter who you are, there's going to be a character that clicks with you in this story, and for a story to be able to do that, I think is deserving of a lot of appreciation. However, we cannot forget about Himmel, the central key character of the entire story. Every time Frieren undergoes a moment of character growth and development, is all due to this man. It's his death ultimately that sets Frieren on a path to cherish all the good times she has with her comrades. But what really got me is the fact that he had these statues of himself commissioned, which, while you could chalk it up to him being too self-obsessed with his own image, it's actually for a far deeper reason. Himmel understood that after his death, Frieren would still be alive, as elves have an enormous lifespan, so he had these statues made so she would never have to feel lonely. The music done by Evan Cole is no short of brilliant. It sounds like a soundtrack you'd hear in a fancy RPG, like The Witcher 3 or Skyrim, and oh man, that battle soundtrack. I know I'm not the only one who imagines myself fighting a dragon or something when the Zoltrak song starts playing. The music perfectly matches what's happening on screen. Whether it's a chill episode with the group just taking the sights and sounds of wherever they happen to be visiting, the music brilliantly matches what the viewer is feeling when they watch the show, and it's just a banger to listen to. After I finished the last Frieren episode, I got up and I went to my grandma's house. Just like the story of Old Man Vol, I know that one day I'm going to forget all the memories I spent with her, and just like Frieren, I know that I need to cherish all the good times I have with her now before one day I won't be able to anymore. If nothing else, that's the lesson that Frieren Beyond Journey's End has taught me, that you need to spend the time you've got left with what you value the most, as you won't get this time back ever again. And unlike an elf like Frieren who can live for 1,000 years, we as humans have an expiry date on time, and one day that date will run out. In the process of making this video, the Frieren account on Twitter posted this with the following message that reads, "The journey to end continues." Whatever is next for the future of Frieren, thank you Madhouse for 6 months of an amazing anime, and thank you Frieren for entertaining me for 6 months. It truly was an experience that I'll never get again. If you enjoyed this video, leaving a like would really help support the channel, and hopefully I'll see you again soon in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, have a good day and take care.